Sorry it's been so long since the last upload. It's been at least a couple months. What's that? You didn't even notice? I knew it. I knew it.
Season's greetings, everyone. Hope you're all looking forward to the Christmas break. I know I'm not. Get it over as soon as possible is what I say. Easter is my favourite time of year. Nothing to do but buy chocolate and eat it. In fact, I start Easter a couple of weeks before everyone else. When the shops start selling chocolate eggs, my Easter begins. My next job on this lovely Alfa Romeo is to get it on a roll frame. It's going to be media blasted and painted underneath, so it needs to go on a rotisserie. I decided to make a frame from scratch instead of the more sensible option of buying one. It's a good job I like doing things the hard way so much, as all of this would have been a wasted endeavour. Anyway, for those of you who share a similar mindset, here is the build. Those that are still with us, it's time to look where this frame needs to mount, and it's not straightforward. I'm not keen on the apparent strength of the bumper mounting on the front, and even less keen on the rear bumper mounting. It seems as though Alfa Romeo ran out of chassis material 2/3 of the way back to the car. Great for economy, not so good if you want to mount a rotisserie. But if you've seen this Alfa being restored from the start, you'll know I'm not one to run away from a challenge, so on we must go. Luckily, the engineers at Alfa Romeo decided there should be some chassis where the suspension mounts, so we can use that and just extend rearward. The rear axle on this car is surprisingly heavy, as my thumb can testify. I decided against using the front bumper mounts. It probably would have been okay, it was just worrying me a little. Using the front wishbone and anti-roll bar mounts, a suitable frame could be extended forward. The frame at the front and back is now strong and I'm really happy with it. All the rear extended box section is for is to prevent the bending moment that would be applied to the weak bumper mounts. It's a little tricky doing all this on a 4-post ramp. Probably a 2-post would be easier, but I haven't got one of those. It's a bit like Boris Johnson explaining where all those WhatsApp messages went. You just have to make it up as you go along. Moment of truth now. Will it turn over without any incident? Few bits of welding and finishing off to do. There'll be a few bits more after it's blasted, but we will find all of the thin material, and this is one of the things I like about going this far. There is a section of bent chassis where the car has been jacked up. That's not to be confused with similar sections on the front where it was intentionally bent in the factory to provide steering arm clearance. The last thing I've added is some sporty caster wheels and a steel locking bolt. I've got the centre of gravity roughly lined up with the axis of rotation. It should, of course, stay wherever you put it without the bolt. The nice thing about putting vehicles on their side is you can fit more cars in the workshop. This little Auto Bianchi isn't really confirming that theory, as it's only just big enough to fit on my ramp. Any smaller and it will fall through the gap in the middle. I'm 6'5" and can still drive this car with the top down. I just have to remember not to use the windscreen washers as I get sprayed in the face. Bye!